Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Mamonde All Stay Foundation. I picked this up because the colours looked really good. I don't think that anybody actually recommended this to me, but I think it just kind of popped up and I was like, that looks like it could be a good match, let's give it a go. It was surprisingly cheap, but I didn't read how many mils were in it. It's very small. This is 20 mils for about $10 US, which is... it's not that badly priced, to be honest. I was just kind of concerned at how small it was. Like 20 mils is like a deluxe sample size, almost. Packaging aside, I was just really interested in it because it came in a shade that looked like it was going to be good for my skin. And I'm wearing it today, and I think it looks pretty good. So, there you go. So for this one, the very short product description says, silky skin with thin applying liquid texture. It gives me nothing to go on. Nothing. The packaging of this product, like I said, is very small, smaller than I thought it was going to be. It is very long and skinny, but it does come in a nice squeeze tube with a nozzle top. This one is in the shade number 13, which is called Porcelain and is the lightest shade in the collection. They have 6 shades going up to number 25, which is shade Tan, which to me does not look very tan at all, but I don't think I'm a very good judge for that either.
So here are this month's swatches. I've got some really interesting products and only one really dark one, so that's pretty good. The lightest shade at the moment that I have is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade 01 Pale, I think 00 Pale. Then I've got my NARS Sheer Glow in Siberia, Etude House Double Lasting Serum Foundation in the shade Y03 Ivory. This one is the Espoir Pro Tailor Glow Foundation in the shade Vanilla. Then there is the Holika Holika Hardcover Glow Foundation in Ivory. Anasui Liquid Foundation in the shade 100 Alabaster, the Mamonde Stay All Day Foundation in the shade 13 Porcelain, which actually looks a bit more pink than I thought it would, the EX1 Invisiwear Foundation in the shade 100, a Pure BB Maker Foundation in the shade Light Beige. This one is the Petty Petta Ink Drop in the shade 01, the 3W Clinic Foundation in the lighter shade. This is a collagen foundation. It's turning so orange and so... you can see it oxidizing around the sides. Then we have the Up Hue Triple Wear Foundation in the shade Frozen, the Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum in the shade 00 Alabaster, the Misha Radiance Foundation in the lightest shade. This is the Laneige BB Cushion in the shade 13, no, the shade 11. The Up Hue Wonder Cushion Pack with the fox print on the outside. And this is the Lily by Red with Estebanny Cushion in the lightest shade. So you can see that this one is oxidizing and getting darker and darker as we go. So is this Petty Petta one. It doesn't do it on my face, but it does do it on my arm for some reason. So these are the foundations.
So I'm going to apply the foundation with a cushion puff, which is pretty much my normal way of applying most base products at this time. And I find this one pretty easy to apply. I don't feel like I have to work super quickly or anything like that. But I do feel like I use a fair amount of the product, like a little bit doesn't really go a very long way, and considering the tube is quite small, I don't know if it's really the most cost effective, but honestly the colour isn't too bad. So I have the shade 13, which I think is like maybe Porcelain or something. That's a pretty generic shade name for this sort of tone. It's actually slightly too like pinky beige when I swatch it against in comparison with the rest of the foundations that I own, but I don't feel like it looks that off when I'm wearing it. It is slightly scented. It smells a little bit like rose, but not too extreme. Like it's not too bad at all. I'm not worrying a huge amount about my forehead because, or my eyebrows today, because I have my fringe is just pinned back at the moment, but you're not going to see it, so So this is what one half of my face looks like with the foundation on. It has really nice light to medium coverage, so I can still definitely see like scars like this one or the one on my upper lip, but the rest of the scars are pretty well covered and the redness is nice and even as well. So you can see that the colour really doesn't look that bad, I think. In real life it looks slightly pink, but not too much that I would bother changing it or anything like that. So I'm going to do the other half of my face and then come back and show you guys. And so this is how the foundation is looking when it is fully applied but not set. So I think that the colour looks quite nice. Overall I feel like the finish and the coverage of the product is really good for me. I don't want a huge amount of coverage, but I feel like it covers enough of the lighter scars that you can't really see like the ones down here, but it still looks like my own skin. The finish is like a satin matte, so it's a little bit shiny, but it's really not like dewy or glossy. It is slightly tacky to the touch, so I will set this with a powder. Comes off slightly on the top of my fingertips when I touch my face, but not too much. So I'm going to go set this with a powder, do the rest of my makeup, and check in with you guys throughout the day. After 12 hours, this foundation is looking not too bad. There is a couple of patches where it's kind of worn off, so around my chin and around my nose and cheeks where my glasses have been sitting. This is worn off from like the glasses touching my face and me touching my chin for sure. And then it looks a little bit shiny throughout the forehead and the nose, but overall it's really not too bad. So for this one, I actually really enjoy the foundation itself. I feel like it looks really nice on my skin. It does cling a little bit to some of the dry patches, so if that is an issue for you, then it may not be one that I recommend. However, the way that I get around that at the moment, because I have some scarring and a couple of little spots down here, is to actually use just a glowy primer on top of it, and magic, it doesn't cling so much. So the primer that I used today is the Misha Glow Balm, and that worked really well for me. Otherwise, sometimes I do get like dry skin around my nose, around my mouth, any places where I have had some acne, because I probably have treated it with some sort of chemical to make it less acne-ish, and that will make my skin dry. So this does have a tendency to cling a little bit, but honestly it's not that bad. I find it really easy to apply. My favorite way to apply is using a cushion puff like I showed you guys in the little demonstration. I pretty much apply all my products with a cushion puff at this point, so that is no surprise to anyone, I'm sure. Other than that, I find that the longevity is fine. I don't feel like it cracks in any spaces. My nose and forehead do get oily, but again, my nose and forehead pretty much always get oily. It's nothing more than any other product would be, so it's no worse than anything else. It's just not that good, you know. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to mention how good the longevity is. It's fine. For something that is called All Stay Foundation, I was expecting it to be quite good, so that's why I mentioned it. The longevity is fine. It's just not all day or all stay or amazing or anything better than normal. I do, however, really like the colour. It is probably a little bit less yellow than I would like it to be, but honestly I think it matches just fine regardless. I feel like it looks good in real life. It seems to look good on camera so far, so I have hopes that it does look good on camera. I haven't edited any footage back to look at it yet, but from what I can see in the viewfinder, she looks okay. So overall, I would recommend this foundation. I just wish it was bigger. I feel like the packaging and having 20 mils, why isn't it like 30 or at least 40 or something like that? Like a standard size is definitely not 20 mils. 20 mils is small. I feel like I need to go and look through all of my other foundations. Yeah, like one of the other foundations I got 3W Clinic, that's 50 mils. And this was like $3 or something like that. Still haven't tried that one yet. That's pretty much my only gripe. It does stick to dry skin, and I feel like the packaging is really small for no reason. Make a bigger quantity. I don't know why you would just do 20 mils. It's a mini. Come on. So thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!